Us first begin with Congressman Sablan. If you can give us the perspective from the Northern Mariana Islands, and welcome to you.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Thanks to you and Ranking Member Manchin, the members of the committee, for taking the initiative to hold today's hearing. Moreover, thank you for the 12 years of attention and support you have all given to the Northern Mariana Islands. Thanks as well to your constituents and all the American people for the extraordinary generosity to the people of the Northern Mariana Islands, especially in this time of unprecedented crisis. This hearing is about how Congress responds to the pandemic. But even before Congress response could reach them, the people I represent and Mariana's government officials had to take action. They did what was needed to be safe, and they succeeded. We had 2 deaths initially, 30 cases total, but have now gone for 22 days with no new case. So far, we are keeping COVID at bay. The Marianas have a unique advantage. In a pandemic, we can seal ourselves from the rest of the world. As a matter of fact, all cases are reported on Saipan. There have been no reported cases of infection on Tinian and Rota or from the 3 sparsely inhabited islands of Pagan, Agrigan, and Alamaca. The flip side, however, is the disadvantage we face in reviving an economy that depends, as you said, almost entirely on high volume tourism. How can we welcome back visitors to the islands while ensuring those visitors are not bringing disease? Eventually, if there's a vaccine, we could return some semblance of the old normal, as long as visitors could reliably certify they were vaccinated. But that is a big if. I think we must face the reality that we may never again exclusively base our economy on short-term mass tourism and find alternatives. For instance, our robust cable connections and the competitive advantage of our time zone. Just this month, the Colorado-based Intel is Secure Inc. began hiring for a cybersecurity operation in the Northern Marianas. We could grow our existing educational facilities, which already attract long-term stay students from Korea and other Asian locations. We could obtain new classes or visas that would permit longer-term second homeowners in the Marianas. Above all, and I always say this because we have no extractable resources, no oil or gold as in, say, Alaska, Madam Chair, we must relentlessly invest in our human resources because with a better trained and more educated population, the more likely that entrepreneurial ideas will emerge that will grow wealth and well-being. And at the same time, we nurture new sources of income. We can also reduce our expenses. We can become even more energy independent and more self-sustaining when it comes to food. Governor Torres has recently taken the initiative. He brought Mariana's government and community leaders together in April to begin the search to answer the questions of where we go from here and what steps we need to take. The 2 action items the governor initially identified for Congress we are already addressing. Direct aid to the Commonwealth government, the CARES Act provided $36 billion to cover unbudgeted pandemic costs, for example, and a waiver of local match for FEMA grants. But there will be more for Congress to do. For the long term, to facilitate the economic changes the Marianas decides on, whether that means new classes of visa, support for energy independence, or modernizing infrastructure. In the near term, to prop up individuals, small businesses, and the local government, all of which had income shredded by the pandemic. And always, Congress must direct resources to healthcare, to local providers, and to researchers in national labs so that this disease does not overwhelm us. Congress has already taken extraordinary action in response to the coronavirus crisis, and the territories have not been left behind. 414 businesses in the Marianas are receiving $37 million through the Paycheck Protection Program. $70 million has been initially set up for the pandemic unemployment assistance. $49 million has been credited to Marianas taxpayers in economic impacts payments, and our schools are receiving in excess of $30 million. We're eligible for the range of grants provided by the Families First and CARES Act for healthcare, childcare, and food aid. And as mentioned, the Commonwealth government received $36 million to cover unbudgeted costs. But we cannot be lulled into believing the worst is over. In World War II, America did not declare victory after the Battle of Midway. There were still long years of struggle ahead. There could well be years of struggle before us now to ward off the coronavirus and rebuild economically. But if there is one legislation that could unleash the help we need to get us through this crisis, that is the HEROES Act that the House wrote and passed. The bill builds on policies Congress previously enacted with Families First and CARES Acts to help American families, businesses, and state and local governments through this crisis. My fellow delegates and I were listened to when the HEROES Act was drafted and passed in the House. We made sure our areas are provided for in measure equal to the needs we face. So I close by respectfully urging the Senate to take up the HEROES Act immediately because this struggle is just starting and is far from over. Thank you for holding today's hearing and for the opportunity to testify. Thank you always for the care and attention you all have given to the American citizens residing in the territories. I look forward to working with you to ensure territories and all of America find a way through this pandemic. Thank you. I went over my time.
Congressman, thank you. I appreciate your comments this afternoon. Let us